We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings. You can ask us about anything at all.
Creators, thank you.
Yes.
I have felt stopped recently and afraid around my work. Can you clarify for me what my work is and how I should move forward? One of the questions is, should I put together a school to teach what I know around healing and channeling and transformational work?
Yes. Well, that would only be beneficial to all if it was something that was coming from a deep desire within you, if it was, in fact, inspired. But to do something because you feel that you should do it is not going to attract as many people. It's not going to bring as much energy to the experience for you or anyone else. And so we will put it back to you and say, is this something that you really want to do?
Moderately so.
Then now is not the time. Doesn't mean that it'll never be the time for you to move in that direction, but if it's only moderate, then it's not the time.
So
you go through phases. You have cycles at times when you're going to be more creative and more action-oriented, and you're going to go through phases where you're going to be in more of a receptive state, where your mission is simply to feel the energies that are coming in and ground them into your physical body. Ground them to Mother Earth, make them available to the rest of the collective. Sometimes you're going to be in a phase where you're doing a lot of processing.
That makes sense, and recently I've been doing exactly that.
You've been feeling more of the processing phase, yes.
Yes.
Processing from experiences in this lifetime and past lives?
Yes.
Yes, because as you say that you're afraid to take yourself to that next level or to put yourself out there more. It seems like you are connecting to other lifetimes where doing just that resulted in an unpleasant or tragic end to that life.
Yes.
Yes, and so exposure is a big issue for many of those of you who are awakened, as you know you are in the minority on the planet. There's far fewer of you who are awakened than there are who are still asleep.
Yes.
And so you are the weird ones.
Yes.
Out there. Yes.
And so, beloved creators, what advice do you have for me to expand what I have available to other people beyond my own desire, beyond my own inspiration? Even when I'm inspired, I'm not always sure what to do, where to go. And
well, there's not one right answer to that question, because you really have to take all of this moment by moment or day by day, in the sense that there isn't one direction that you should go in now and stay on and just keep marching in that direction no matter what. So as we said, you're in a time now where you're doing much more processing work, which means there's a lot more of an emphasis on going within and feeling those emotions as they come up, which to the outsider doesn't look like you're doing much of anything at all. And that could be something else about being awakened in this world that you live in that's quite challenging, is that other people look at you and they say, well, what are you doing? Where's the action? Where's the result? Where's the product of all that you've been doing? And you have to say to someone who doesn't understand that, well, I've been doing a lot of processing.
So is there any way for me to connect more fully with those people who are my clients? Is there any way for me to more fully call in those people who are my clients?
Yes. You take those inspired actions when you are truly and genuinely getting the push, getting the nudge from within. Not because you're trying to drum up some business for yourself or you're trying to connect with people and you'll take the action that you don't really feel like taking but you know is necessary. But instead doing it when it's truly genuine, when it's something you actually want to do. In other words, some people are more of a blogger than they are of making videos and uploading videos onto YouTube. And so those people, even though YouTube is a very large website where you can reach a lot of people, they have to play to their strengths and be the writer that they are, be the blogger, and not try to force themselves into a box that they don't fit into. And for you, you have to pay attention to what's actually true for you in the moment. In other words, as we said, something that's not true for you in the moment when you're only moderately interested or excited in it doesn't mean that you never will be. But as you are genuine with yourself, as you are true to yourself, you are engaging in the act of self-love, and then you have something to share with the people out there who might want to connect with you. As you put yourself out there genuinely and you say, this is what I've been going through lately. This is how I've been helping myself, and this is how I can help you. That's how you reach people. You reach people by doing what you actually want to be doing and then sharing it.
Is there anything I'm missing? Is there any place I have resistance? Is there anything that I'm not seeing?
You're not seeing your own value. You're not truly embracing who you are as the end product that you have to offer. It's not the information that you access for people. It's not the other beings that you access for people. It's not what you can do for them. It's who you are that makes you the magnet to the people that will benefit from your presence. So you're underestimating your own presence and how much of an effect you have on people.
And how can I and so what is your advice?
So as you raise your vibration for no other purpose than that you want to be in that higher vibrational state, that's when you start valuing yourself more. That's when you can see and feel the value of your presence to others. That's when you get inspired ideas to move in certain directions or take certain actions. It's when you have done the hard work of taking care of yourself first, that you then have more to offer the rest of the world, and you will do so from that intuitive and genuine place of coming from your heart, coming from deep inside you and what is truly important to you.
Very interesting.
So make a list of all of the things that in your day, if you were to do them, you know that they would raise your vibration. Perhaps it's dancing, perhaps it's taking a bath, perhaps it's walking in nature, perhaps it's going to the beach, perhaps it's reading a book and drinking a cup of tea, something very simple, watching a sunset, anything at all, petting your cat, petting your dog, whatever it is. That is your action that you take that naturally raises your vibration. And so you know then that you have this bag of tricks that you can reach into at any time.
I understand.
Yes.
This is what I coach people to do every day.
Yes. Indeed. And yet, society is telling you that you should be doing more. It's not you. It's not coming from within you, this pressure. It's coming from outside of yourself. You can be content, continuing to do what you do and taking care of yourself, and knowing that you will grow at the rate at which is most comfortable to you, and you will take care of those fears of exposure as they come up. But that you don't have to put your foot down on the accelerator and get further along than where you are, further along than you're comfortable reaching for, at a time when you're not comfortable taking those action steps. It's just about timing. It's about recognizing where you are and accepting it rather than trying to fight through it.
I understand.
Yes. There's no such thing as a lazy, awakened person, because the awakened person sees the benefit in resting, relaxing, receiving, meditating, doing nothing, going out into nature and just sitting, watching animals, watching birds, listening to birds. The awakened person sees all of that as productive. But the society that you've been raised in doesn't want people like that. Society wants the go-getter. And so you're still straddling right now between the two worlds.
And I have to make a living.
You do, yes, but it has to be comfortable for you, even as the awakened person that you are, to do what you're doing. It cannot be something that you're forcing yourself to do, or else you might as well just go get a job. Because that's what a job is. It's really waking up every day and forcing yourself to go do something that you don't want to do, but you feel that you have to do because you need to survive.
And what I love to do best is doing readings for people.
Yes.
Doing intuitive work with people.
Very good.
There's almost nothing that's more exciting and invigorating and enlivening than doing that work.
And do you feel excited about sharing the fact that you love doing that work with people?
Yes.
Very good.
I'm not sure how best to do that.
In every way imaginable, by telling people that you love to do it, people that you meet who ask you what you do for a living, you tell them, and you imbue that excitement into it when you tell them by writing about it and just putting it out there on the internet, how much you love to do it, by thinking about it, just imagining yourself doing it and having so much fun and feeling the essence of it. So as you feel it, you put it into your energy field, and your energy field sends out the message to the rest of the universe that this is what you do best and what lights you up the most. Now, there are things, of course, you can do in the physical realm as well that get you out there more. And so you have to look for the times when you do feel inspired to take those actions.
I understand.
Yeah.
I expected more dramatic answers.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, who is it that works with me? Who comes through me?
Your guides.
And who are they?
Well, you have many guides that work with you that are interchangeable at times. And so we see a total of 69 guides that work with you at various times. 3 of which will take the forefront. They will be there with you 24/7, and when you're doing a reading with someone, these will be the guides that you connect with. But the other 66 are still there in the background, helping, supporting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And at times they will tag in with one of the others. So one of the guides that works with you quite a bit during readings is an angelic named Tiara. So she's coming from the angelic realm and therefore offering a lot of compassion, unconditional love, shining light down upon you and activating within you that which is also angelic, that which you know of in yourself.
Oh, that's so interesting, because I've had so much experience, so much of that experience that has said that a large part of me in the angelic realm is available to me. Yes. And I know this. I've been there. I know this. This is not familiar. So can you tell me what my connection is with Barbara Brennan? I went to her school about 20 years ago, and I wonder if you can see any past connections or what our real connection is.
Well, you've connected before on Atlantis in a similar fashion, where she was the teacher and you were the student. And you were taken to greater heights through her training. You were able to see the coming disaster on Atlantis. You were able to read the energy as a result of your time working with her. She helped you to really open up to your clairvoyance. And because you were able to see what was coming on Atlantis, you left. You got on a boat and you made your way over to Egypt.
And it's always felt like I was responsible for a bunch of people at that time also, and we pretty much got away.
Yes.
Intact and took information with us.
Yes, exactly.
Some of which is still not even found.
Correct. Absolutely.
And a friend of mine now in this life, Kayleen, has the experience and recently remembered the experience that she left at the same time and everyone died.
Yes.
That she and her group died, and she's had such shame around that she couldn't even face me in this lifetime. And we're in the same program together, but she didn't want to have anything to do with me. And any comments on that?
So what she's saying is she left Atlantis. Yes?
Yes. And the people she was responsible for died.
Well, she wasn't responsible for you.
No, I got that we were sort of equals. And
it was at Lemuria, that's what she's tuning into. It was Lemuria. So Lemuria had a similar fate where the word got out that Lemuria was going to be destroyed. And some left and some didn't. And in that case, you didn't leave. Because you couldn't believe that it was true. You didn't want to leave your home. Lemuria was a paradise. And you also thought that by staying, you could affect the outcome in a positive way. Whereas your friend there was guided to leave. Everything was perfect, of course. Everything that has ever happened has been perfect to set you up for the next experience and the next and the next. And now you're in a lifetime where you are ascending, where you don't have to stay on a planet that's about to be destroyed or a continent, and you don't have to run away from anything that's going to happen either, because now that you are all ascending as a collective together, of course, some of those past experiences come up to be purged or to help you. But you're making the shift this time around.
So would it be best for me to stay in the geographical area I'm in now?
It is until you get that urge to move, until you feel the calling to be somewhere else. It is perfectly fine for you to stay where you are. In other words, the more spread out the awakened ones are across the planet, the easier it is for you all to create the grid lines across the surface of the planet and to work with the existing grid lines.
I feel that I hold a strong space where I am right now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, everyone is where they should be until they feel otherwise, and it becomes easy to make a move.
May I ask a question about my son?
Yes.
His name is Stowe.
All right.
What else do you need to?
Anything specific? Well, he's a very big subject, so what is it specifically?
He, when he was first born, I had an experience, a waking dream of being up in the sky with him, and he was dogfighting in a plane, in World War II planes, and he was full of joy. And he was born into a very liberal family.
Yes.
And he went into the Air Force so that he could have a chance to fly in space, to fly the space shuttle.
Yes.
And he's now a jet pilot instructor currently in South Korea.
Very good. And so you want to know what his chances are for that flying in space?
I'd just like to know if you can see any trajectory for him. He's had that energy around him since he was born. He came in with.
Yes, you're absolutely correct, and you tapped right into his previous lifetime there. And he has been following his intuition every step of the way to bring him to where he is now with the skills that he has, which will make it easier for him to transition into navigating into space when it becomes easier. In other words, now there's a very select few who get to go through the NASA program. But through other channels, through other opportunities, there's going to be a much larger number in the next 5 years. So he is right where he needs to be on the current trajectory that he's on to be living that dream that he's always had.
So what was his past life?
Which one?
Where did he? So was he in World War II? Was it World War II?
It was, yes.
And what happened? Did he survive, or did he go down during that time?
He went down in the war, yes. He died doing what he loved.
And did I know him then? Who is this child to me in the past?
Well, there's been many different lifetimes that you've shared together, but in that lifetime, you were his aunt.
And why did he come to me this time?
You travel together in these soul families from lifetime to lifetime.
Yes, I'm just curious why I'm his mother this lifetime.
Well, it's in some ways it's because you were the easiest path for him to come in and to have his experience. But the two of you, there's a lot of love there from all of the past lives that you've led together. There's a lot that you've shared, and so it was a good fit.
I have another question about past lives. I had a profound 20-year revelation about being a healer in France around the Revolution. And my family, I was in nobility, and I was a healer. And the peasantry took my family, killed them, mostly all, watched me, had me watch them do terrible things to make me suffer for being part of the nobility. Yes. And at that time, I vowed that I would never heal again. And I've rescinded that vow this lifetime not too long ago, within the past year.
Yes.
And so can you tell me who was my daughter in that lifetime? Who is that person now to me? Who is my daughter that was killed? Who was my companion and my apprentice?
Well, we don't see her as incarnate with you right now.
Ah.
She's acting as a guide for you in this lifetime. And this is also one of the reasons why you're feeling that fear of exposure and putting yourself out there more. This lifetime in particular is very important. In helping you to come to terms, as you said, you were able to renounce that earlier statement that you made about not ever wanting to heal again. And now as you continue on this journey with your healing work, you will be continuing to face the struggle of putting yourself out there and feeling that by being exposed as a healer, you set yourself up in a certain vulnerable way to forces.
Is there anything I need to be careful of this lifetime? Is there any... I have a sense that I don't have to worry this lifetime.
You're
and
right.
Yet I also...
You've been flying under the radar of anyone who would come after you in this lifetime. So you're completely safe. There's no danger other than not dealing with the fear that comes up. That's the only danger.
Yes. At this point, I'm fairly fearless about that.
Very good.
I've had a lot of experiences where I've been shamed publicly, even this lifetime, for what I do, and I don't care anymore. I have concern for those around me, but I'm not afraid for myself anymore.
Very good. Well, you shouldn't be afraid for anyone else either.
Good.
There's no
Good.
reason to be. Yes.
I don't know how we are on time, but I have another question.
All right.
I've had experience that possibly the man who's my husband now and I were twins when he was born, and I died. And then I went on to be born to another family. Is that accurate?
Yes, you can trust your intuition in regards to all of these suppositions that you make. Your intuition is dead on about that.
And so is there anything that I don't already know about my relationship with him? Is there anything more? I mean, is there anything... I don't even know how to ask. I don't even know.
Well, we know what you're getting at because so many people ask about the contracts and agreements and so on. And the agreement that you had with one another has been fulfilled. And now you are free to create together whatever you want. There's no obligation.
And what was the agreement?
That you would come together, that you would get married. that you would shift together into the fourth dimension. And once you became fourth dimensional, you see the rules that were binding in the third dimension with these types of contracts and agreements were all shredded. And you became truly free to create whatever you want to create.
And being with him has been a tremendous joy. It's what most people only wish to have.
Yeah.
It's pretty spectacular, and other people look at us and they want what we have.
Yes, wonderful.
I'm curious why he's an artist. He's a writer. He's an actor. He's extremely gifted. He's a teacher. And so why can't he create success for himself this lifetime? What's in the way? What's he resisting? Is there any way that I can help him?
Well, there's a disconnect. It's funny that the two of you are both working in realms where traditionally there's only a good living for a very small few, by comparison to the number of you who want to be working in those realms. And so you have the starving artist, and you have the spiritual person who in other lifetimes has renounced any sort of possession or wealth. And together, the two of you are both facing the same seemingly dichotomous experiences of having what you want in terms of comfortable living and doing what you want. It's about, for both of you, it's about marrying the two so that there's a groundedness to what you're doing. There's a feeling that it is something that has value and can earn a living for both of you without feeling that you're selling out. So you have to stay genuine. He has to stay genuine to who he is and what he does. And that's the only way that he's ever going to be successful. But he also has to shake off that notion that there's something romantic about the starving artist, or there's something more genuine, more artistic about those who are not getting paid or not getting paid well. There's some judgment there as well to let go of for him, of those who are successful. It's about letting go of that idea that there's something about selling out that reduces the value of what's actually being offered.
Interesting twist there.
Yes,
Yeah,
because it's not, because when you do something for the love of it, there's something there about the love that feels like that's its own reward. But at the same time, there's a fear of that getting sullied by the payday.
I understand.
Yes. We are the creators.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we love you very much.
Hi everyone, this is Daniel Scranton. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share this video, and give a visit to danielscranton.com when you get a chance.